Welcome to the latest episode of this week's Acca, sponsored by Sky Bet Acca Freeze. I'm Tom, joined by Jake, Jimmy, and the returning Joe Townsend to deliver our selections. It's back to the Saturday fixtures as usual. We've got Premier League to go at, we've got the Sky Bet EFL to go at, and maybe a bit more too as we build our accumulator in the usual manner. Let us know your thoughts in the comments all through Sporting Life Football's social media channels, and remember to keep it fun. Never bet more than you can afford. This podcast is 18+. Please gamble responsibly. You two were giggling during the intros. Everything okay? We all excited?
You'd be a bit happier to be back, to be honest, Joe. You look furious.
Yeah.
It's misbehaviour, though,
Before we start on last week's Acca, where the hell have you been for the last... Just disappeared for a bit.
I've been enjoying reading the comments, replying to people asking where I've been. And when I say people, I just mean one person.
There was comments.
Darren, I'm back, baby.
Yeah, comments is the plural that you've gone for there. I've seen one comment asking where you were.
Yeah, I
think we hid that one. We
excited. I was actually excited to show a draft reel that I'd made on Instagram to publish this morning to George, our social media man, and I'd accidentally deleted it. So it was digging all of you out and praising Darren for trying to bring me back from the dead. But I had some minor hip surgery for minor men's whiplash. No, it's just for the Alan Partridge fans out there. But
I enjoyed it, so thank you.
I'm back now. Crutch is gone 2 months down the line, and it's been fun watching, but I've missed it. So, back for Christmas.
In the 85th minute of last week's Acca, you would not have been returning.
Oh, well,
I wouldn't have needed you, really.
We probably wouldn't have been returning either.
No, that was it.
We'd have been in sunny Mexico.
Yeah, I got to be honest, when you priced it up at 60-1, I was thinking they need me back next week. They've lost it. they finally lost the plot. Yeah, I did have a few messages come in from friends of mine who are avid listeners saying, I'll read it out actually, because I read it out to Jimmy last week, saying... Not sure if you are aware that Cheltenham have just been included in the Acca and they are rock bottom of the league. Not saying that someone needs to be fired for this, but you might need to start an inquiry. But
yeah,
ended up with egg on his face because it did go close.
He also said that he'll back it anyway, right?
Yeah, the same guy did get in touch on Saturday saying went so close, great effort by the lads. So
red cards,
effort, guys.
I'm blaming it all on red cards and not the fact Millwall also conceded for no apparent reason in the last minute there as well.
Have you seen that, by the way?
No, I don't want to look back on any
questionable
of these
penalty.
Few of those.
I didn't realise just how close it went because I was actually car shopping at the time and I'd...
Ooh, high roller.
Someone's
Not
doing
for
well.
me.
You getting it for someone for Christmas?
I would just show.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
But you also,
No, I'm not getting a car.
You can't check scores on your
I was just there for expert opinion, so I just wrapped up in the garage, kicked a few
Who's
tyres.
getting a car then?
My missus.
Well, what's she looking at getting?
A yellow Mini. She's got it.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Nice.
He said it's the rarest kind when he was selling it to us. The rarest one, the rarest colour. You're not going to get a model like this anywhere else, son. But the point was, I don't get very good access to the internet on my current phone, so I had to check it when we got back.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, shit. They're all winning. They're all winning. It's the 85th minute. Shit. And then it all went.
Can you do that on your phone, that any question answered? Do you have to pay £3?
Is it text?
10
Frank or something?
Yeah, that you
I think
talk to Frank.
Service completely. Yeah. It has a different complete service.
Talk to Frank is a very different thing, mate.
What is that?
It's like
Alcoholics Anonymous type thing.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. No, never texted it.
It
was a hell of a
before
ride,
we dwell
though,
on it,
wasn't
yeah, oh my God, 85th minute for clarity, all five were winning. However, Cheltenham were on a red card, 2 yellow cards in the first 15 minutes. It's almost impressive, but still took the lead. Crew were winning and then got a man sent off. All of them, but Cheltenham ended up losing draws as well, so we went from 5 out of 5 to 2 out of 5, from ecstasy to agony in the space of 5 minutes. Few fair people though in the comments. Andrew Smith cashed out. We've seen a lot of these. Welsh Hibby cashed out with 20 minutes to go as well. It seemed to be a case of if you back them all as individuals, the amount of people as well who saw had frozen the Cheltenham result as well as the bigger price one on that. You know, it didn't win in the end, but a fair few people made a bit of money out of it at least.
Yeah, I mean, we always knew 60-1 is a hell of a long shot, but for it to go so close, we're on the right lines with pretty much everything. And yeah, it gave us an excellent run for our money, which is what you want on a Saturday. You know, you sat there, you're watching the scores come in, you got your little accumulator on. You just want it to a bit of entertainment, go close, maybe win. And, you know, Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Like I said, the cash out was probably the right way to play it, given the amount of red cards in the games. Again, the two bigger prices had red cards as well. So, yeah, well done to those people. But God, that was.
I was already spending it in my head, and I think I'd worked out you could get 187-ish pints of bread and butter from Vocation.
There you go.
That's how I'd worked out in my head. So
It's really weird, that.
yeah,
Yeah, it is, yeah.
that's what I wanted to spend it on. The final comment.
Do you not calculate your winnings in pints or?
It depends where you go, doesn't it?
It
Really.
goes straight in the ISA, mate.
Ooh.
Well, let's fade the mic out and get you back off.
Not
We're
really, mate.
just to try and move on and stop reflecting and feeling sorry for ourselves of what was ultimately a loser, but it ran us close. The final.
Chris Hammer would call it a moral win.
Yeah, it'd be on Chris
Darts,
Hammer.
yeah.
If you read any of the darts coverage, it says moral winners chart. This is definitely an Acca on there. The final comment we'll read before we move on. Don says, "Nice one, lads. I take back my harsh comment from a couple of videos ago. So won him over. Particularly sorry to the curly-haired guy as well. I thought he was a bit of a bam stick, but changed my mind after tonight. Now the problem is you've both got curly-ish hair.
Who's more likely to be
Yeah.
realistic, though?
They're both idiots.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Curly hair. All aspects of this comment are correct.
Yeah.
So can you get back in touch and just clarify which one you meant? Pink or green idiot? Which one are you thinking?
And what's a
Go for
bam
it.
stick? Is that Scottish? That's a Scottish phrase, isn't it?
I'm still. I thought it was
Bam stick.
Need to Google
South
it.
Yorkshire-esque type area thing.
I can't get it out of my head. Do you know?
Scottish slang for a mad person, lunatic, or someone who displays such
See,
tendencies.
it's one of those though. We all know what it means, but nobody
Often
really knows
verging
where it
on
comes
being
from.
dangerous to the general public.
Yeah,
That's definitely Jimmy.
yeah, it's Jimmy actually, isn't it? This comment. This is who it's about.
I just can't get the curly-haired fuck thing from Step Brothers out of my head. Thinking, you two would be decent Step Brothers, actually. Maybe that's what you can be.
It's going to be a hell of a chat to the producer to get that to be our podcast title, by the way, on this one.
Curly-haired fuck.
But is it, those two could probably be Dumb and Dumber, maybe?
Zing.
Moving on. Moving on. Let's go to this week then. I'll say it now because I know I was going to do this at the end of the episode, but I know you just want to get the selections in, turn off the podcast. Everyone does it. You don't never listen to the last minute of a podcast. Over the Christmas schedule, there will be podcasts, right? It won't be all four of us. It might be. I'm not sure what everyone's doing. We will basically be sticking roughly to the two a week format type. We will put something out there with actual dates when you can expect it. So, for example, there will be one Saturday night that we'll record for the Boxing Day fixtures. We'll try and keep them as short as possible. We understand Christmas is busy, yada, yada. You won't have time to listen. So just putting that on your radar that if there's a big round of fixtures across the Christmas period, there will be a podcast for it as well. So the best way to find it, to make sure you don't miss it, I should say, subscribe via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you're subscribing. You'll get the notification of when
YouTube?
an episode is through. YouTube, yeah, of course. Subscribe to the couple of hundred now. We're doing well on there on the This Week's Acca channel as well, so you will get notifications of when episodes are out. This one then, Saturday fixtures. With it being Christmas, we lose some to Friday. Of course, they've shifted some over. There's a couple of games tonight on Thursday as well. We have a fair few in the Premier League, Championship, League One, and then a handful in League Two as well. Also the National League, if you want. We've dipped into this before. So, who can start us off? Of course, I think the best person to kick us off after a 5 to 6 week absence, enforced suspension.
His old
Go
snake.
Townsend, kick us off then. Who are we looking at as a potential first selection for this week's Acca?
I found this really tricky slate.
I didn't mind it, you know.
So I'm
1,
really
2,
hoping
3,
you
4,
guys
5, 6 I've got.
can bring plenty to the party. So tried to rank it. So the first one that I'm going to bring in, it's more on the short side, is Bolton to beat Leyton Orient. So here's my thinking on this. So Bolton to beat Leyton Orient, it's a short one, 8-13. One bad performance last weekend where they lost at home, but they're such a good team. So it's 2 defeats in a row. The week before, they lost away at Portsmouth. Portsmouth, running away with that league. But if anybody watched that game, Bolton were actually brilliant in the first half, missed tons of chances, missed an open goal, conceded at the end of the first half, and then they just couldn't get their way back into it, conceded a second goal late on.
I think you're downplaying how bad that missed chance was as well.
Oh, horrendous.
Open goal is one thing. That was it just defied physics.
Unmissable. Open goal from 6 yards.
XG had it at 1.2, I think it was.
So they're a really good side. they haven't gone more than 2 games without winning since early March. So the consistency is going back a long, long way now. So I just wouldn't be put off by the fact that they've lost a couple of matches. And in fact, I actually think that the price has probably drifted because they've lost these couple of games. So that's my argument for it. One of the best teams in League One, playing a very average team in Leyton Orient. I would expect them to be going off at 1-2, probably, and 8-13. They're right in there for me.
Yeah, I was just looking actually what you were saying there. Leyton Orient's home games against those, and these are home, of course, as well, against those currently in the top 6. They lost 4-0 to Portsmouth, 3-2 against Oxford, 3-0 against Stevenage, 3-0 against Derby as well. So not only been losing, they've been conceding.
They did to Peterborough
Heavily. Drew 1-1. That was ages ago, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Leyton Orient.
Ages ago, mid-September.
I'm not being funny. Last week, we're back in Cheltenham to beat Leyton Orient at home, and they were debating whether to put Bolton in to beat them at home this week. It's
I'm not debating it.
Yeah.
I want them in.
To be honest, it was one I didn't really write it down because I thought it's just going to get mentioned by someone. It just seemed the obvious one of the weekend. So someone's going to bring this up, surely.
You know, they've lost once in 8 away, Leyton Orient.
Yeah, we backed them to beat Cheltenham. I'd say lose at Cheltenham.
They're also like 2-1, man.
What is going on?
I'm obviously leaning. I think Bolton are going to win. The defeat.
Covering.
I'm just saying the defeat at Bristol Rovers at home to Bristol Rovers. They had a man sent off after 33 minutes, which always could be difficult. They were already 1-0 down, but that's difficult to come out. And Bristol Rovers had a new manager, Matt Taylor, in charge. So I think they'll carry on potentially.
New manager bounce.
Well, it's not.
I'd have it.
It's an upgrade on what was
there,
right?
As a starting point, I'd have it.
Talking about Bristol Rovers
as a short point.
Into context, that Bolton lost to them last week.
So, Leyton Orient's away games against those currently in the top 10. They've lost at Charlton. They drew 0-0 at Blackpool. They drew 1-1 with Peterborough. But the Blackpool game was in August, and the Peterborough game was in mid-September as well. Peterborough since then have absolutely been rampant and really kicked on. And
have you seen the data?
with a 1-0 battering, didn't they, last week?
You've seen the
Unbelievable.
You've seen the data.
I don't.
No.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah, I am. I don't
Obviously,
think we need to talk about it anymore.
I don't think. Let's just put it in. Happy?
I'm happy.
It's a nice starting point. Straight away, this is a good return to form. You've got one in straight away. Bolton to beat Leyton Orient then. They're short priced, but what seems to be the fairly obvious one for Saturday's slate. That's the first selection of this week's Acca. Take a break shortly, but let's try and, if we can quickly rattle in the second one. We've had a great start.
I think we can. I think I've got one.
Say, have you got one here that you look like you've got one that we can just instantly...
I'm just giddy to get it in.
So giddy, so this one should be going straight in, and it is...
Fulham, best price 8-11, generally 7-10. Against Burnley at home.
Yeah.
My hands are really sweaty, so...
Fine. Get them in. Yeah.
I'm going to shake them. Yeah. Do you want me to give you a spiel, or shall we just get them in?
No, I was going to say, we'll put them in, definitely, but it feels like Fulham are a team that we haven't particularly spoke about since the start of the season when they were getting a bit fluky in some results. Then we said, I say we, Pink Idiot, said to give him his official podcast title.
Pink Eye.
Pink Bamstick, right. That's a shame that you've returned in bad form. That was worrying. Since then, they've been absolutely brilliant. Bar last week where Raul Jimenez just don't know what the hell he was doing.
No, he pulled out of that, to be fair.
Yeah, you can't do anything anymore, can you?
He didn't want to decapitate him, so he's pulled his foot away.
What have you got for Fulham?
Well, it's you got to pinpoint the change in form down to the last international break of the calendar year. I don't know what Silva did over that break, but Fulham have come back like Brazil, like a prime Brazil. Frazzle. Maybe.
Sorry?
Or
second to realise what he was doing.
I thought, is there any more to come?
Bacon crisps. That's that, isn't it?
Yeah, they're good. They're good, but not the best bacon flavoured crisps. Those they also do scampi fries.
There is only one bacon flavoured crisp, isn't there?
Oh, there's the scampi fries and the bacon flavoured ones. Joe knows what I'm talking about. Those are the best bacon flavoured crisps.
Yeah.
Bacon flavoured.
You know those little...
Oh, they call
them. You can get bacon one, yeah.
Oh, right. I was going to say, because surely scampi doesn't take bacon.
Yeah.
Scampi fries, Smiths, but...
Yeah.
They do the jalapeno ones as well.
No.
Different jalapeno pretzels.
Fulham have beaten West Ham, Nottingham Forest and Wolves in recent home games.
Yeah. Post-international break, they scored
3
against Wolves, 3 against Anfield, 5 against Forest and West Ham. Like you said, it was only the Jimenez red card at St James's Park that ended that. sort of glut of goals. They lost on penalties against Everton in the League Cup.
Won on penalties.
Won on Everton. Won against Everton on penalties in the League Cup. Sorry.
Has he been Christmas drinking already?
Oh yeah,
Christmas drinking.
brains frazzled.
Yeah, the only slight reservation I had was one of price, the 7-10. But I've done a little bit of digging, and Brentford went off longer against the Clarets, 1.75. Wolves went off longer. Bournemouth went off considerably longer, as did Forest. So there might be a whiff of they were a touch on the short side. So I just wanted to open it to the table. Do you think that's the case?
I think it looks about right for a bad team.
I think it's right on the line, and I think Burnley were potentially being considered to be better than they are, and now people are realising they're not really getting any better.
Yeah.
So that price has kind of gone away a bit. And Fulham are a good team. Do you know, they're consistent. I know they tailed off a bit last season, but they're a good team at home. And you've let somebody up. I've got it on the line here. Those two successive 5-0 wins at home, and beating West Ham 5-0 at home. I mean,
do you know do you know what the reason that was?
Illness in the camp.
Yeah, the West Ham boys had a stomach bug.
The old
was that?
lasagna
Did they have a
gate.
stomach bug last night at Anfield as well? To concede 5 against Liverpool.
He had one shot on target.
Shocking, that,
as
wasn't
well. Crap.
But, 1-4, lost 1 in the last 5 at home, scored 21 goals. Yeah, I think it's about right.
Yeah.
Contact, Newcastle are 8-13 away at Luton. I'm sorry if someone was going to mention this game, but we've spoken hesitancy about going against Luton away. So the fact that Fulham as a home team are slightly longer priced than Newcastle, I know Newcastle are a better team, but from the pricing perspective, it would make more sense to go with Fulham, surely.
I'd be properly wary if this was earlier on in the season and we saw that kind of underlying data that Fulham were putting up was not very good, but now they're actually performing at a level that is good. I mean, the red card again last week, the XG in that game was 0-0. The XG was 0.08 to 0.04, so it was a very even game before that. Newcastle ended up racking up 4 XG in that match, which just
We've seen them do that time and time again at home under Eddie Howe and just
yeah.
rack up ridiculous numbers.
Clincher for me is Fulham's results against bad teams, basically. They in teams 13th and below, home and away, they played 6 times, they've won 5. Against the worst teams in the league, they're basically they beat them, which it means that they're going to be comfortably 13th, 14th come the end of the season, maybe higher. And yeah, Burnley is lower, so bad. So yeah, I think this is like Joe said, it's borderline the price, but I think it's a great bet. And even with Jimenez out, he's not like a Mitrovic where he's kind of crucial to their attacking plans. I'm pretty sure if it's Vinicius or the young guy that's going to come in up front, it's not going to make too much of a difference to their creative juices, if you like, and the players that are in there that are playing really well. Iwobi, you like that? Yeah. So yeah, throw them in. Let's double that up.
Yeah, above 6-4 this.
Yeah, feel sorry for
Double.
anyone on the front row at Craven Cottage if there's crazy juices flowing around.
Let's get out of this one before somebody else says.
Yeah, let's quickly move on here. We'll take a quick break now. But the first 2 selections, we've rattled through them already, of this week's Acca. In the Premier League, we've got Fulham to beat Burnley, and we've got Bolton to beat Leyton Orient from Sky Bet League One.
Get ahead of the beautiful game with Sporting Life Smart Stats, XG and expert analysis. Expect the unexpected, only with sportinglife.com.
The first 2 picks of this week's Acca then, we've got Fulham to beat Burnley, we've got Bolton to beat Leyton Orient as well. I'm going to stay in Sky Bet League One and chuck you one hopefully that a few of you have got that immediately jumped out to me. Another short price one that I'd like to just put straight in. We'll move on. Shake hands. Charlton to beat Burton around the 8-13 marker, this one. Burton, a shame really, we've all been drawn in a little bit by that back end of last season performance.
Don't you dare brandish me with that.
Result? No, all of us. I'm saying that I got drawn into it as well.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No.
Okay.
Tried warning everyone off him. I said, don't do it. The pants, stay away from him. Do you listen? No.
No, sorry, Jim Rod. We should have listened to you more. The poor form that they were in led to Dino Maria being sacked. Always slightly hesitant when a managerial change has been made. And then I looked at the game. Gary Mills in interim charge. They lost 3-0 away at Oxford. They conceded 14 shots on target in that game.
How many shots on target?
14. 1-4 shots on target conceded in that game. They were battered.
Take it he's not getting the permanent gig then.
I think it's not a great start, I won't lie. And I was looking at the comments on social media and that, and Oxford fans going, with the football fans, they do that weird thing of, oh, such respect for that. Thanks, mate. Hope you go well. It was like, respectfully, you're the shittest team we've seen in a long time here. So, yeah, I think Charlton, who we've spoken, I don't really want to waste too much time on that, but since their managerial change, there's been a big turn up in their form. There is a lot of draws there. That's my one hesitancy here against a Burton team who have just been so poor in interim charge. Well beaten last weekend. It's another away game that, for me, is a short price Acca inclusion that I'd be fairly confident in delivering.
I had it down for about the draws, so I've got it as possibly on the short side. I've got Charlton too short and too many draws. So I would just be slightly wary of it. The thing with Burton as well is I'd be interested to see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks because I really like Gary Mills as a coach, and I'm surprised that it's taken so long for him to crop back up because we're going back a good few years now, probably like 5 to 10 years, where he was building a really nice managerial CV. Where York,
you might be on about a different Gary Mills.
Is it? You have to check.
I think you're on about that one, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is the problem when you have two coaches. So that one, Gary Mills, was at York City, Gateshead, Wrexham, York City, Corby Town. This Gary Mills was previously also at Corby Town. They've obviously got a thing for him. And I think he was coach at Coventry.
Do you know what?
So if that actually works...
This should be like in Brazilian football. That
I thought the manager was Damien Mills, the Canadian cricketer. That's just messed up my notes entirely.
I thought it was Danny Mills.
Yeah, this is a different Gary Mills. This Gary Mills has won the Conference North with both Kettering Town and Nuneaton. Doesn't really have to move house. Won the FA Trophy with Stevenage Borough. And was a player at Rushden and Diamonds when they won the conference and the Football League Third Division as well.
I know nothing about this Gary Mills.
You're basically
so this actually
in there. Yeah.
This as soon as you started about York, I thought this is brilliant. 'Cause surely this benefits our argument.
Yeah,
it's someone else.
I know nothing about this Gary Mills. I'm not going to start slagging him off. Could be the best thing since sliced bread, but I do like the old Gary Mills. Come back, Gary. Go on, mate.
I was going to say, did you go out well when Charlton played him last week?
I couldn't, unfortunately. I can go this Saturday, so I didn't watch it.
I'm trying to bail you out here. Talk to us about what you saw in that game.
Oh, so yeah, the highlights that I've seen and the people that I know that went said that Charlton were really good. Point about fair, if anything, Charlton deserved to win. That they played really well. So they were very good against Barnsley last week.
It also factors in for me the fact that it is Burton who have just been so bad. They've made the managerial change and then somehow it seemingly got worse. I know it's only a game against an Oxford team who are a bit more hit and miss at the moment, but are a good team in League One.
Yeah, the thing, you both referenced the draws, but the thing that's always struck me as with Appleton is not a lack of, I don't know how to word it, but it's not about, it's just a knack of getting results. Not a defensive setup. He's just managed to pluck results out, and I think he's just going to gather momentum. The draw that sticks in my mind was when they came from 2 goals down at home to Blackpool, one of his early games, start of October, and I thought, yeah, he's just breeding some form of character and resoluteness into this side, and I do think the results are going to pick up, particularly against one of the poorer sides currently in the division.
And those draws as well as just looking Portsmouth away, Barnsley away, Wigan they won, so decent play. They beat Cheltenham as well, who we spoke about last week, have had their own upturn in form. It's a short price, but I think I just really like this.
Yeah, the draws are an asterisk, but I'm going to stop saying words I can't pronounce. Draws are a slight concern, but I don't think it's a major.
Yeah, it's
issue.
a good point. To be fair, it's only the draw at home to Cambridge. That's the only
manager
one.
Neil Harris.
Yeah, one game in it. So
scored too late, which
I'd be willing to get behind Charlton because if we're thinking that they're operating at a like top 6, top 8 level. And
especially at home, yeah.
Having a team that was 6th or 7th in the league at that price at home to Burton would be.
Yeah, I've always liked Appleton as well as a coach, mainly because he's significantly bigger than I am. And say anything else,
scary looking.
Yeah, but it's also obviously I've never played under him. I don't know, but it feels very much to me like he's got very business focused. Very just this is what we're doing. This is it. It's not going to be the come on, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
It's a real shame though that it's not Appleton against Dino on the touchline. People would pay good money for a charity, probably not even boxing, MMA.
Isn't Christmas time usually the Christmas time's usually when World's
Scary
Strongest
looking,
Man
yeah.
pops up again on Channel 5, isn't it? It's always around Christmas time that rocks up again. So that would have been a nice promo for him, really, if they had anything about them.
You know, he'd have like a beanie on, just standing outside the like not a nightclub, but that pub where they really ID everybody that's near you.
Great rough pub.
Yeah, and he's always got his arms folded to make himself look even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it turns out he's actually a nice bloke when you get talking to him.
Exactly.
You're a regular, and it's great.
Deadness or anger behind his eyes, aren't he?
Yeah.
Stare right through you. Sorry, Mr. Appleton. Got me
God,
idea.
he's still absolutely massive as well. Picture from October here. Look at that.
Scares the shit out of me.
Like, mostly.
Yeah, look at that. He's not changed a bit.
He's got a bit of a squeaky voice though as well, hasn't he? Because you don't expect.
Let's not slag him off here. We've just seen how big he is.
Yeah.
More
I like you as a coach, Michael. If you're listening.
More importantly, are we having them then?
Yes.
Yeah. Won them round? At the moment, we've got 3 teams, but there are 3 home teams, and there's a 3-1 treble here as well. So I know there's going to be some that are a little bit of a bigger price to push us above the 10-1 marker and that sort of thing. Charlton, happy?
Yeah, I agree with Lloyd Christmas.
Lloyd Christmas?
You can do a little Google again.
Lloyd Christmas. Okay, carry it right. I'll do Google. We've got 3 picks so far. We've got Bolton, we've got Charlton, and we've got Fulham as well. They're the 3 on the treble. You've not gone first yet.
I'll throw a bigger price in.
Go for it.
I never thought I'd do this on this podcast.
Lloyd
I'm
Christmas.
going to put Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, that was his surname.
Yeah.
No way.
Anyone who didn't get the
Lloyd.
reference, that's one of the members of the Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I didn't know that was his surname. You always, yeah.
Nice little, addition to this time of the year. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday.
He's praising his own reference.
Yeah, aren't I a genius? What a brilliant man I
He's
am.
had to explain it, which is
all
always a good
sorts of-
sign.
It's always a good joke when you have to explain it.
funny, it's relevant. Yeah, but no, in all seriousness, getting back to it.
Frank Lampard, how are you, babe?
Oh, that's what I was going for. Thankfully, he's not the manager of my club.
Luckily.
Luckily, yeah. Yeah, 5-4 at home to Cardiff. Initially, that looks maybe short for a team that are at second bottom. They're 6 points from safety, but if you
Crucially, they're now second bottom.
yeah, exactly.
It's-
We are moving in the right direction. Yeah, absolutely flying. Team in form at home. Won 3 of the last 5, drawn 1, which is against Leicester. The only defeat was a really weird game against Millwall, where they had the new manager that game as well. Cardiff not in form at all. Won 1, lost 4 the last 5. But yeah, overall, if you take a look at the underlying data, as Jim Rod likes to do quite regularly, the last 12 matches, Wednesday have ranked as the 11th best team in the entire division on the underlying data. Cardiff have ranked as the 3rd worst team in that stretch as well. So you've got a team that seems to be on the ascendancy, and a team that, after a good start, seem to have kind of flatlined a little bit and are definitely falling down the table.
Yeah, my affair with them's over now,
Yeah.
in terms of
Gone
backing
now.
them. Yeah, no.
I know if you take the XG table overall,
No.
Sheffield Wednesday have been better than Cardiff on all the underlying data metrics, which again suggests that Cardiff are in a false position. Wednesday probably should be a little bit higher, maybe around the 7-8 team, something like that. So yeah, I think that this is a game. Obviously, it's not must. Every game's must win when you're down there, but when you've got a home game like this against a team that's struggling, especially one that's struggling away from home, this looks like a really good spot for Sheffield Wednesday. And 5-4 may seem fairly short, but I think it probably should be a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn this one down on the basis that I also had it, and it's a week on from me going on about Cheltenham and not judging a team where they are on the table. Look at since managerial change. Danny Roll, for me, when it happened, had all the hallmarks of an absolutely disastrous appointment. For all your David Wagners at Huddersfield, you've got other coaches. I can't think of one. But to me, it felt like, he's going to try and
The
implement.
Huddersfield manager that followed Daniel.
Yeah, Jan Sievert, who was on his Minds team. He's the caretaker there. We're on TV the other night. Martin from Wakefield, as he's better known as. I thought, okay, he's going to come in. He's going to try and implement this style. They're not going to be suited to it. It's all going to go wrong. And you watch them going, okay, actually, no, this is working. The confidence is there. They've got going. We spoke about them the other week when we fancied them against Stoke. I like it. I have no issues with this whatsoever, and it's an odds against price as well. If it was odds on, I'd be a bit hesitant, but the fact it's above even money, contrasting form, lot of confidence through at Wednesday as well, the home team.
Yeah. There's a real togetherness as well, not just with the players, but the fans. Like
With the city.
not the city. That's
I mean, to be fair, if you said
Massives are behind him.
If you said to me in about September time, we're getting into the festive period and everyone at Sheffield Wednesday is absolutely loving life again, I go, no chance,
yeah.
no chance whatsoever. So
one man's done that.
that's the biggest testament whatsoever. And even that was all coming before the results as well, so the belief was there and the results have followed.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
Jimmy wants to speak.
Yeah.
I'm just conflicted massively.
Well, you would be. You're a Blades fan.
Yeah, there's that, but I don't mind backing Wednesday if the price is right, and I'm just not sure if we've missed the boat on them. Like we've had them, like I feel like we've passed it. I'm just gone on odds portal and just looking at the closing price of Cardiff away. Hull went off 1.75, Southampton went off 1.64, Preston went off around 2.4. Stoke went off 2.1. Do you know what I mean? And the nature of Wednesday's wins, I don't know how to take it. I said it was fortunate against Stoke. I tipped him in that game, bit of trumpet in there, but it's not a win.
Oh nuts!
It's not a win that I thought Jim, a brilliant tip in there, brilliant bet, because they were massively fortunate. Even the nature of the goal, route one, lucky injury time winner. The turnaround at QPR, I thought QPR was largely the better side. And in the other sense, you've got the nature of the victory. It no doubt will galvanise the group. And Roll were going around doing laps at the end of the game. He did the same against Leicester.
That game with QPR had a total of 9 shots.
Wow.
QPR had 4 shots in that game, 0.3 XG. So QPR, they weren't the better side. Neither team were the better side in that game.
No, as I just said, I thought for large parts QPR was the better side in that game. Watching it, not just going on a website and looking at data.
You are funny.
But my reservation, I'm happy to go with it because
I'm saying so. It's in, and I don't know if this has changed this morning or even just now. So it's into 6 to 5 already. I just don't think the price is there. And so I put down last night for 5 to 4, just a bit too unpredictable for me. And then it was right on the line for the price. I just don't think the price is there.
They were the same price last week against QPR, a QPR team that are on the up and that are improving under a new manager. Cardiff going the complete opposite way.
Yeah,
they won that game in that fashion. Like, that price was always going to be shorter this week against a Cardiff team that are really flapping at the minute.
Yeah, no, I
get the price because it does feel like it's quickly happened, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cheltenham, again, are another one, but it's a good comparison point that we spoke about last week. They're again playing a pretty bad away team who are considerably lower in League One than Cardiff would be in the Championship, and they were obviously a much bigger price, and they're in a very similar kind of situation in terms of a turnaround and the team at the bottom.
I'm not suggesting this as a bet. Somebody else might. But for context, I need to pull it up actually a sec. I'm pretty sure that Plymouth are about the same price to win at home to Birmingham, and I don't think we should be putting them on the same levels. Plymouth's consistency. I know they've lost their manager.
Wednesday are a better team than Plymouth. Play it again, Wednesday.
Like that, but Plymouth's home record over such a long period of time, I just don't think we can be saying on the same level that Wednesday ought to be the same price at home to win as Plymouth are.
Plymouth's home record's better, but I know not everything's on spreadsheets, but the underlying data says here that Sheffield Wednesday's home process is better than Plymouth's, and Plymouth have been fortunate to pick up as many points as they have. Like, I know it's, again, results. It's a results business. You need results to stay up in a league, but like that suggests to me that over the course of a season, Wednesday will pick up more points than Plymouth for a longer campaign. I don't mind them not going in because for me it's double
win for you even. Yeah.
If Wednesday lose, then they lose, but the Acca loses. If they win, then the Acca, they get 3 points and the Acca wins. So
it's doubling down in all aspects.
Yeah, if they don't,
a hell of a Saturday or a terrible.
If they don't
Saturday.
go in and they win, it's great. If they don't go in and they lose, then at least the Acca's not gone. So either way, whatever you guys want to do, I just pitched it.
Let's take a quick...
Give them a bit of airtime.
Yeah,
We've not spoke about them a lot.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll take a quick break. We'll reflect on it. You might want to include Sheffield Wednesday. You might want to Acca freeze them as well if you're not too confident, but they take the lead. And here's this man to tell you how.
One thing we've all got in common is having that one leg of an Acca let us down. From spending your winnings in your head to cursing that last-minute equaliser that broke your heart. But it doesn't have to be that way. Acca Freeze from Sky Bet gives you the power to freeze a winning score early. Even if that team goes on to lose, Sky Bet will settle it as a winner. It's time to take action. It's time to Acca freeze and end the game your way. Visit skybet.com for full terms and conditions.
So we have 3 confirmed teams. We've definitely got Fulham, we've got Bolton, and we've got Charlton for a treble so far that is above 3-1. Wednesday we weren't sure on. Argyle, you mentioned them there to beat Birmingham, yes or no?
For me, not
If Schumacher hadn't left
not when they've lost
this
Schumacher.
week,
Yeah, I forgot.
be all over this, but
Likewise.
Just
it's iffy, and do
uncertainty.
you risk it, do you not, do you carry on? I'm not too sure.
Too much uncertainty for me.
Just wanted to mention it there as you did.
Yeah.
Yup. Sheffield Wednesday's maybe that's leaning towards no. I think this is where we're at with this. So we still need probably 2 more teams given where we're at the moment. Open to the floor. Does anyone want to chuck one out that we think we can all get behind here?
Yeah, I'd like to chuck a big one in there just to make myself feel a bit better.
I say Rotherham at Leicester, and
How dare you? How very dare you? Although,
oh no,
no, I
Keep a card.
I did a
It's turning into a bit of a League of Gentlemen, actually, the way it's going.
I did a little preview for the site, and I have got Rotherham on side. I'd just like to bring some stats to your attention.
about 5-1, isn't they? I'll probably just back them because
no.
5-1 double chance.
Rotherham, 18 games against sides who finished in the top 6 last season and current top 6 sides this season. They got results in guess how many games? 18 games from the beginning of last season when they got promoted.
11.
10.
Bingo. 10. So anyone thinking about approaching this game, I'd just avoid it if you were looking to get Leicester in at stingy odds.
1-7 as well. There's
best
literally
avoid
no point
Just
in it.
avoid it.
How many of those have been at home?
Not as many as you'd think. Off the top of my head,
That's
I don't
That's a great kind of Parman. Leicester
Read more on Sporting Live.
Yeah, that's one to actually just to mention there because Leicester are 1-7. There's literally no point.
know. No point.
Including them at
No
any of your
point.
accumulators this weekend. They'll
No
probably
point.
win, but there's no value
You
on
might
the
get
risk.
0.1 extra.
Yeah.
on your-
Risk reward is just.
If we added them to ours, it goes from 3.13 to 3.72. Completely minimal. Who can we include?
Well,
You were going to say a big one, but was it Rotherham?
no.
You can actually have your time. now.
QPR at home to Southampton, 17-4. I think it's a very, very, very interesting price.
What is wrong with you?
Why? Why'd you hate it?
I don't mind it as a bet, but in
Single,
an
yeah.
Acca, are you kidding?
Joe, you've been away for a long time. We've changed the way we operate here.
When did Southampton last lose a game?
It's going to be tricky to.
The 14 games ago, I think.
They're due a loss, aren't they? They're due one.
It's the classic.
September.
Classic. Yeah, mid-September.
God, they're due
You're
a
gonna
loss.
let's put a
aren't they?
team in the Acca who's not lost since September. Merry Christmas.
You're a bookie's
everyone.
dream. You're a bookie's dream thinking like that. That's not how you think. Did you see the last victory against Blackburn? Very much in the balance when Burton got sent off for a stupid second yellow card. They also had a pen. But the thing that stuck out to me about that game was
You're the biggest one for saying it's not going in. Let's move on. It's not going in. Is this going in? The Acca?
well, as I said, we've changed. Oh, is it
No,
not?
it's not.
What? He's been back for 10 minutes, and you changed your tune, haven't you?
No, it's because I'm not against big prices. I'm just not against. I just don't want to.
It was like the
against
Wild West
Southampton.
in here when you were gone.
I like the
They used to say bets. They used to just eat it up.
I like the shout.
I like it as a single. That's why I
Stick
did.
it on the side, mate.
That's why I didn't want to just say no
Yeah, stick
because
it on the
I think
side.
it's an interesting single bet, and maybe there'll be value on a double chance as well if you fancy him to get something.
Yeah. Well.
But no, I just can't get against
Going
Southampton.
in your Acca is insanity.
Oh right.
He is a bamstick. Which is the definition of someone who's.
We think he's the curly head bamstick in all this. So far, we have Fulham, we have Bolton, we have Charlton as a treble. I still need 2 more teams that I can just go, yes, get them in. I have a couple.
Stags.
Boredom,
Stags at
Mansfield.
Sutton. Yeah.
Boredom, Mansfield.
Price is silly.
Yeah.
Too boring.
7-10. Sutton got absolutely pumped 8-0 by.
Yeah, I'm always hesitant though if teams get whacked 8-0 and then
Yeah,
the
but
next game.
How often is it that they go from playing the best team in the league to the second best team in the league back to back?
It's happened, you know, in what was the stats on the other day? In League 2 history, the last 6 teams who have lost by at least 6 goals have gone on to win their next game.
that up.
Absolutely made that up. But how many of those
Shows though,
are
if you
bottom
just
of the
say
league?
stuff, nobody.
and-
If it's such an obscure stat, you can just chuck it out. I'm convinced so many Twitter stats of that. They're so hard to research.
I
You
made
just
a
say
career off doing
anything,
it.
and people will just go,
That's what politicians
"Yeah,
do, mate.
yeah, that sounds
Really
that sounds believable."
But yeah,
Oh, dear.
Sutton, they're a team. They actually rank as the worst home team in the league on underlying data. Mansfield, the best away team in the league.
I'm not surprised. The bottom at league.
Yeah,
but
surely they must rank as the actual
not
worst
say
home
the
team on
bottom at league.
the real table.
The bottom at league. They lost 8-0 last week. They sacked the manager because they're so shit.
Yeah, they've got the fifth.
Oh, they're up
worst
to
home
up
team,
to
home
up to
form.
20th in the home standings. So fair play to
Oh,
them.
the second bottom at league, are they now?
No, the bottom of the
That
league.
just
That's home standings.
change the table, yeah.
Yeah, they're still way bottom.
Yeah, they're bad. Mansfield,
They're
best
still
away team.
way
in the league,
bottom.
won the last
Way
4.
bottom.
It just seems like a massive mismatch, and yeah,
Only
if Tom's fake stat puts you off, then
only Barrow have picked up more away points than Mansfield this season.
That price is gone by kickoff.
Yeah,
100%.
I just don't want to waste time talking about it because we talk about Mansfield so much. We know they're really good. We know Sutton
they are
really
right
bad.
good. Get
You're allowed one away team every Acca as per my mantra. So
The one thing
no
I
issue
put
with
down just in case for
this. Is it about the 6 teams in League Two?
it's just the draws. If anybody's always worried about putting them in, if they looked and thought Mansfield draw loads, they don't draw loads anymore. 6 wins, a draw, and a defeat in the last 8 matches. All those draws were at the start of the season, and if they'd not had all those draws, they'd be clear at the top of the league. And the only reason why they're not in the top 2 is because of games in hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just worth knowing that because it'd be easy to look at the table and think, oh, I'm not having them in. Look how many times they draw games, but they honestly don't anymore.
Yeah, even Sutton's home form, Crewe draw with them, Tranmere who it picked up, but away from home haven't been particularly great. Bradford just before I think they went on this run under Alexander, they beat them there as well, and Walsall as well. So the results coming against not particularly great teams. Yeah, happy with this one, Mansfield.
Mansfield.
They're
Look fed up.
4-6. Yeah, I am fed up. They're 4-6.
Wanna put 4 to 1 in, mate.
7 to 10.
We'll put 4 to 1
7
in.
to 10.
7 to 10, yeah.
They're not. I
Yeah.
put it here.
You want to check it?
Yeah,
Put it in front of my eyes.
4-6.
Oh, mate, you must be on slow Wi-Fi.
It's also very slow.
4 to 6 I'll still have.
That's a fine price. That's a bigger
4 to
price
6, yeah.
considering I know that they won, but there was a ridiculously short price on away teams last week, and that absolutely came in. I think it might have concerned a team like Sutton. I can't remember who it was.
You're not liking it, mate?
I like it.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
punt.
I like it, I guess.
It's effectively, in
Sutton's
the
scare me.
simplest terms, it's good team v bad team. Yes, it's a short price away from home, but if you're going to have an away team, then surely you're just going to go for the good ones against the team bottom.
Yeah.
Yep. Fine. Happy? Right, we are up to pre-boost on the treble, 5.61 to 1 on a fourfold. We've got Fulham to beat Burnley, we've got Bolton to beat Leyton Orient, we've got Charlton to beat Burton, we've got Sutton to lose against Mansfield. There you go. I didn't mess that up. I was just purposely doing that, of course. There. So Mansfield, Charlton, Bolton and Fulham is where we're at so far. Odds on shout takes above 10 to 1. So that's fine if it's not ridiculously short. So you can play around.
I'm out there. I've got just 2 really short ones left. So no more suggestions.
Out of curiosity, just who are the 2? Just tell us 2 teams.
Portsmouth. Home to
Yeah,
Fleetwood.
understandably.
The other one was Wrexham, but then I made loads of notes because it's a really interesting rivalry, Wrexham, Newport. Conference playoff final in 2013, a proper sliding doors moment for the pair. Like Newport went up. They haven't come back down since. Wrexham down for 10 years. Then they met in the FA Cup, went to a replay, and I quote, 10 minutes into the replay, Wrexham got a red card for nearly taking the leg off a Newport player. And they went on to lose. So there's been a little bit of a...
Well, if you're going to do it properly, don't do half a job.
And obviously, Newport that season, they got to the 5th round. They were the story of the competition, lost to Man City. And so they were like the big team in Wales. And Wrexham now, obviously, are trying to come back with that. So a little bit of a rivalry. Been built up for a while. So yeah, I think they'll win, but I don't want to put them in for that reason. But they were the 2 that I had. And the other one was Sheffield Wednesday, which...
That is the standard, though, for research. That's the standard there. No more data bollocks. That was good. That's the standard.
The
I was
data
listening
bollocks
to
is
you
there as well.
I was listening. I was thinking, wow, I had no idea. That's brilliant knowledge.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, but I like Portsmouth as well. But I noted them down 4-9 yesterday. They've shortened them. My main argument was there's just about enough juice when I did it last morning. But now... yesterday, but now there's no.
Yeah, you get into about 1 to 3, isn't it?
So
I've got it written down as Pompey too short, if anyone says.
Yeah.
Same for Blackpool, in case anybody says that. Too short for me.
Yeah, I'll chuck one in from League 2 then. I've got 3 more, 2 from League 2 and 1 from the National League, as it's a slightly limited thing.
in that league.
Which one to propose first? I'll go for the bigger price one. Tranmere 13 to 10 to beat Swindon at home. Spoke about Tranmere before.
Views.
Upturn in form that they've seen.
3 wins in a row at home.
3 wins in a row at home. Swindon across the last 10 games in the league have the worst points return, level with Forest Green in terms of points return over the last 10. And Tranmere's the only other note I had, just 1 loss across the last 6, which was defeat away at Walsall last time out. I don't want to talk too much on Tranmere because I feel like I've spoke about them very recently when I was trying to back them. Maybe we did. I can't really remember.
Atkins still there.
Yep. Oh, God, yes. Yep. I love Nigel Atkins, and he's now getting results for them. They play a bad Swindon side at home. They're odds against. Ta-da. There you go. That's it for me. Again, because we've spoke about them recently, but this good form, even with defeat last time out, that was away from home. In recent home games, they've been good. They've been returning points. Swindon have not.
I could come around to that.
The Acca with that one would go above 14-1 pre-boost, by the way.
Shall I chuck in the couple that I've got left?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's kind of, I
Yeah.
think we just chuck everything we've got now and then we hand pick it out.
Similar, Tranmere and Wednesday are similar in terms of the Tranmere on the up after a bad start. Swindon started well but slowly dipping. Cardiff, Wednesday comparisons, yeah. I like it.
So I've got Peterborough to win at Shrewsbury, which is short, but I thought it's right on the line. So the price,
Shrewsbury have been weirdly good at home as well this year. I know this season. I know they lost to Portsmouth, didn't they? Well beaten last time. But I kind of looked at this and went, "Oh my God, it's really short of 1-2." Peterborough, brilliant as we know, but that was the thing with Shrewsbury.
and Stoke at home to Millwall.
You want Stoke?
Oh my God.
And that's come in.
He's done it again with Stoke.
Yeah,
Not a chance.
yesterday.
I don't know how they'll react to Schumacher. They
so-
could be good and just want to look at in 3 weeks. And
Yeah, I mean, we briefly mentioned it when we weren't recording. Then it's just something to be wary of is the conditions, because that's another stadium that will be really, really windy this weekend. And that's just got like a 1-goal game written all over it. So it's probably a match to avoid now. So that is just something to bear in mind for your betting this weekend. The conditions will actually make a difference on how games go.
any others? I want to have a jumbly, chuck it all out.
Yeah,
I'll just favourite one out of Eddie. So we got Peterborough, Stoke were mentioned there. I've bought Tranmere. I've got a couple more that I'll go to afterwards, but unless you said them.
The only one I had down yesterday was Norwich to beat Huddersfield. Norwich are drifting.
Yeah.
And it's not about Norwich. It's more about how unconvinced I've been by Darren Moore's Huddersfield. But
Yeah.
they draw a lot of games, so I just thought maybe there's enough in there price-wise, particularly with Norwich coming off an absolute, I don't want to call it a smash and grab, but it was a fluky 2-2 draw with a top Ipswich sides, obviously rivals. But I don't know if that's gonna put spring in the step, because Huddersfield, it's not
I'm
the
just
desired effect.
too hesitant on Norwich. We spoke before.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, and I think the fans still aren't convinced by Wagner.
The fact that they're
going on
drifting
there.
as well stinks of bad betting. So
He's basically benefited from boardroom-esque level change-arounds, isn't he? And one small director going, another coming in, and it's kind of fallen in the cracks at the point where he's about to be sacked, and then they've gone, I'm not doing it, you do it. And he's gone, no, I'm not doing it. It's not my responsibility to do it at the moment. But they've picked up results, and yeah, I think it's still unconvincing. Norwich are the one that I'm not sure on, particularly at that price.
Just off topic, I'm having second thoughts about Mansfield. The reason is Stockport were 1-2 at home to Sutton last week.
1-8-0.
I know, but Mansfield away 4-6. Is that a bit too short?
No?
Why?
I think that's about right.
And they've got the best away team, or
Second best.
just shy of being the best away team in the league.
That's not that much longer, is it?
I can't believe we're doubting this now. I think it's
Got it in.
And Sutton,
about right.
1-5 at home.
No, Mansfield's staying in. We've talked about it, and I want to get this wrapped up and get the hell out of here.
I know.
He's just covering his arse here. Just
Yeah.
But 7-10 hours, 7-10.
No,
yeah, you are
Price-
bad for that.
Price is about right. Price is
Leave 'em
absolutely
in
about
just
right.
yes.
The two I will just chuck out here because we need to pick one and get the hell out of here. Grimsby are 4-5 to beat Harrogate under David Artell since he's come in, who was the best appointment available at the time. 2 draws and a win. Since they've sacked Paul Hurst, though, Grimsby have been unbeaten at home. Had Sean Pearson and Ben Davies, I think his name was, in charge. Temporary charge there.
If we did a Secret Santa, you'd have got a Grimsby shirt.
Oh yeah, I'd love him. Yeah. Thank you.
Every week
Wouldn't
they get a
mind, yeah.
mention, right?
But no, I think since the managerial change, there has been an upturn in their form, and even just during that interim period against Harrogate side, who I know have picked up some results, but I'm not getting sucked in by them again, having kind of looked at them previously. But that was when they were at home. I think for them 4-5, Grimsby looks pretty decent bet in that one.
Who have you got from National League?
Eastleigh to beat Dorking. Eastleigh have been on my radar since they played Reading in the... Well, before then, obviously, but since they played Reading in the FA Cup, which they won. Really strong kind of attacking unit, it seems. The top scorer across England's top 5 leagues is Paul McCallum. 18 goals this season. 20 in 19 in all competitions. 18 and 18 in the league. And Scott Quigley also has 9 as well. Very good kind of attacking player there as well. Just 2 losses in 11 home league games this season for Eastleigh. And I think the fact that Dorking, not a great away team anyway, but they concede a lot of goals. Eastleigh have the potential to exploit that, I think. So this is why the one I bought from the National League, and it does take us above 10-1 if we wanted to include that. Eastleigh, a team that I had on the radar anyway. I just think they score loads of goals. Can easily see them scoring 3-4 in this game as well and winning quite comfortably.
I'm looking up and down the slate here. I hate myself for going back on what we've said. There's no price that makes me want to back it more than the Plymouth price. And me thinking, I know they've lost Schumacher.
No, we can't
there's
back
not,
the team.
There's nothing that sticks out more. All the rest of them, I feel like...
Nope.
Birmingham have shown
need to know
decent...
more.
We can't back a team
Spells
who's
as
just
well.
had a managerial change. We can't do it. Them the rules.
Especially one so integral to everything that they do.
Yep, we can't do it,
I don't
Joe.
want to do it. No. I'd rather take Wednesday or Tranmere, personally.
To be honest, I like the Eastleigh shout. Yeah, I watched the game.
Do you back them to beat Reading as well? I remember seeing this on Twitter.
Oh, just a bit, yeah. But the thing that struck me with McCallum was he actually missed tons of chances that game as well, which I guess is a good thing that he's right position, getting lots of chances at. Yeah, I like Eastleigh. The only one I've just been scrambling around having a quick look about, and you're gonna hate it. But what about Wickham at home to Port Vale?
No.
11-8. Now the thing for me is Port Vale played in the midweek. Hectic festive schedule. 4 games now in 11 days. And that extra game against Borough, I think it could prove costly in the long run. Ollie Arblaster on loan from Sheffield United. That's the only reason I know him, but he's grown into a pretty integral part of this team. He got a gash on his knee from his own team. I think it required a lot of stitches. Now I'm not sure if he'll be fit for this one, but he's grown in stature.
I'm going to stop you there. I don't want it.
No, I don't want it.
I just want to pick.
Well, what we're going to do then?
I want to push for the Eastleigh one. I'm going to push for this now because we need to wrap up because we've been dragging out.
I've got nothing.
Eastleigh, right?
Yeah, I want Eastleigh as well.
Just to further add it, they've scored 5 away at Aldershot. They got 2 in normal time in the FA Trophy against Aldershot. They scored 2 against Reading, 2 away at Chesterfield, 2 at home to Boreham Wood, 2 against Altrincham as well, 5 against Boreham Wood in the Cup not long before that, 2 away at Maidenhead. Good teams they're playing there, promotion chasers. Dorking conceded 3 away at Fylde, 6 away at Gateshead, 2 at Bromley. Horsham did them in the FA Cup as well, 2-0. Goals, I can see.
Did you know that
Getting a fair
Eastleigh
few
have
goals.
conceded more than Dorking this season? in the league?
Doesn't matter because they can outscore them. It could be a shootout. It could be an over goal one.
Yeah.
But I
I
had
told you.
100% confidence that...
I told you I like Eastleigh. What I mean?
Why did you talk for 10 minutes?
Because I said, yeah, I like Eastleigh. And then Joe said, oh, I don't know. And then I was like, all right, I've got one more for you.
Win-win, draw in normal time, but that was the FA Trophy. Before that, home form, win.
I'm seeing a lot of green on Tom's screen with Eastleigh. I know absolutely nothing about it, but I'm prepared.
It's having a team.
Prepared to back you.
It's not like I've watched them. I've watched this team because of that cup game. Went back and watched a lot, and they're good attacking unit. This.
Let's just put them in and we can get the hell out of here.
Oh,
Come on.
very professional.
Yeah.
Let's have Eastleigh as the 5th. I want to push this for this. This is my one.
Yeah, I'm really confident on Eastleigh. I love them. Great pick.
I'll take the full blame if it goes wrong.
That's actually
There you go.
No, I'm being serious. It's a great pick.
10.42 to 1, the
I
Acca
like it.
pre-boost. Do we like this as a 5-fold? This week's Acca then. Finally, after much debate, we finally got to a point where we can all sort of agree on this one, I think. We have got, starting in the Premier League, Fulham to beat Burnley. We've got Bolton to beat Leyton Orient and Charlton to beat Burton from Sky Bet League 1. Sky Bet League 2, it's Mansfield for an away win at Sutton. and dropping down to the National League, we've got Eastleigh to beat Dorking. Pre-boost the price on Sky Bet is 10.4221. And as ever, remember, keep it fun, never bet more than you can afford, and please gamble responsibly. So as ever, we'll encourage you to get in touch with us on social media, in the YouTube comments as well, or search Sporting Life Football. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll be able to find us that way. And head over to sportinglife.com/football on Friday. Is that what we're saying now?
This.
Yeah, the price, or should we just chuck it out whenever we
out soonish.
Go from Thursday. We always encourage go Thursday
If
to
we
get
can.
the best price on that one. Find the link. You can back it at that enhanced price that we'll get. And if you haven't already, as we say, to find out when the latest episodes will drop over the hectic festive period, follow, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or your chosen podcast provider. We'll be back after some few festive sherries, no doubt, on Saturday night.
Merry Christmas.
I've seen them before Christmas. Saturday night.
Oh shit, yeah.
Now, happy Easter.
Yeah.